Today's goal, we're going to try to get the trusses up on top of these posts, and let's get into what we need to do to get that accomplished. All right, and we're back on another little adventure here, and I've kind of lost track of all of our days. We didn't do much filming yesterday because of really nasty weather we had that morning and a couple different power outages. Everyone was just super tired. We did manage to come out and finish the two middle posts. Yesterday wasn't a total wash, but we were both, Krissy and I, as well as the kids, we were all just hurting. It was Father's Day, so worked a little bit, relaxed a little bit, went out for dinner, and it turned out to be a really good day. So we're gonna try to make up for it. We've come up with a measurement. We're gonna do 4 foot from the top of the post down. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna give us a constant measurement on every single post, all 6 of them. And then we're going to identify what post is the shortest. So what post is the deepest in the ground. So that post is going to be the post that we then work off to get the other 5 posts to match. So unfortunately, I'm not as high speed of a builder like some other guys would be. I could not dig these holes and know for sure what the top of my poles are going to be when we get them set in there. We're just not that good. So we got poles that are long enough to give us that wiggle room, and then this is just a little bit of time consuming process, but it will give us the ability to then make sure that the top of every single post is identical. Therefore, the trusses should be all in the same plane. Okay, so we've got everything ready to go to get our top of the post measured out and marked. What we did was take that 4 foot dimension on our shortest post, which is going to be right here in this corner, and we took a line level and transcribed that mark on every other post. We then measured up 8 foot 2 inches. Ideally, we wanted to go for about an 8 foot eave height for this barn, but I wanted to kind of compensate for the future if we decide to concrete the bottom or add some more fill dirt in to raise it up. So I gave ourselves a 2-inch wiggle room. So if we measure from our mark here up to 8 foot 2 inches, that should give us about 46 inches. So we're then going to take the level mark on every post, go up 46 inches, and then that will be the dimension we cut at to make the top of our post all level. All right, now here comes the fun part, I guess, for some people. We're going to hack the top of these posts off. I do not have a saw that is big enough to cut all the way through. My skill saw is just your standard, like 7 1/4 or 7 1/2, whatever that is. And then I've got a Sawzall, but I don't really think that's going to give us as good of a cut. So I've got my Harbor Freight electric chainsaw here. I'm going to try this first one. If it doesn't work out real good, remember we got the 2 inches, I can always just eliminate that 2 inches and try something different. But I've got some good faith in it. The most important part is going to be the inside of all these posts because of where the steel trusses are going to sit on top of them. So I think as long as I'm right on the mark there, I could be a little high or a little low for the rest of it. think that was somewhat of a success. Well, it wasn't as sketchy as I was thinking it was gonna be. For the most part, I felt pretty comfortable up on the ladder. So I can see why people would use a chainsaw over any other tool. I will say it probably wasn't the best cut on all of them, but I just try to work off that corner that I could see, the lines that I wrapped around, and just try to guide that all the way through. So I think it looks really, really good, providing our measurements are where they need to be, which I'm feel pretty confident about. We should be moving in the right direction here. All right, so this here is a truss that Krissy and I had built before we even started this project. We were trying to gauge how long it would take to put one together. And for the most part, it really wasn't that difficult. You just got to get the correct sides paired up. We're gonna put all of these together with grade 5 bolts. I can't guarantee it's gonna be the best insurance policy, but for what we have available, I think it's worth it. I don't want to have to do this again, so let's just put the biggest bolt we can find in it. This one looks, see how this is a little bit higher? Let's try to break it. We got our Kioti tractor up here holding this steel truss that we just bolted together with the grade 8 bolts. I've got a center line marked on the top of this post here that you're not going to be able to see. What I'm going to do is line up my truss holes with this center line mark, and then put a little X inside where the center of that hole is, and then we're going to drill them out and put our carriage bolts in. Now I've got my grapple attachment on the Kioti, and I've got that grapple closed all the way, so it's kind of sitting like this with the truss right up in the middle. If I move it left to right, it should be, if I lean it towards the camera or away, it should be good, and I can still slide it left to right to get it up against this wood here. So it's probably not the safest you could do it, but it's all we got to work with here. All right, so the setup here, we're gonna run a torque washer, which has got the square notch for our carriage bolt. And then the same thing like we did with the trusses, we're gonna run a flat, a lock, and then a nut to tighten everything down with. Probably also gonna need a hammer too. Is that big? Okay, yeah, I forgot we had that hammer here. Yeah, we get that hammer. We do that big one, just so I can get more weight on it. Perfect. Hand you that. Flat. You got flat lock and a nut. And another flat. All right, that's one side. We're gonna move over and get the other side. All right, that'll be a wrap for today's portion of the video. I'm not sure if this is gonna be one or possibly a first segment of another one. But we are pretty much done for the day. We're getting real close to 11. I would keep going, but I need another hand to finish this up. And Krissy's got a doctor's appointment. She needed to go see a psychiatrist as to why she's married to me. So unfortunately, that's going to take most of our day for them to figure that out. But before I let you go, let's take a look at this truss in action here. I think it's mighty fine. Mighty fine. Kioti did an awesome job lifting us up and getting us where we needed to be. Grapple is where it's at. I would not recommend doing it with a standard bucket. And this post over here, for as well as we did measuring, it's a 24 foot, so the inside post measurement has got to be 23 feet 1 inch. This post in this corner was kind of curved out away, but not so bad to where we couldn't make it work. So I got my holes drilled in, and when I ran my nut down onto the carriage bolt, it kind of sucked it right up in there. So not really worried about that at all. I am super tickled with how well this truss came out. I think Krissy and we just talked before the camera started rolling. We're gonna try to get one truss a night done. So after work, we'll just come in and hop right on it and get started. So theoretically by Wednesday, we should be able to hang the last truss and start working on our 2x6 rat runs, or purlings, I guess. I think we call them purlings if they're on the roof. So anyways, I appreciate y'all stopping by and checking this out. Please give us any comments or anything you think about what we're doing. Maybe if you got an idea of how to lay out the pig barn on the inside, good for the size that we're working with. With that, my name is Mike with Fighting Ibis. Thank you all for stopping by.